What's up guys? Today I'm going to start the process of restoring my BMW E38 735, and I'm going to start off with a pretty simple fix, and that is, as on many BMWs, the cup holders are pretty poor. This one has snapped, and if you can see just about here on both sides, you can see where it has actually snapped. Now it is a pretty easy fix. I did do some looking around on the internet, and there's a few different methods, but the one I'm going to use is essentially just with a paper clip. So what we have, that's basically what you need to do with the paper clip. This one's a bit bent, and essentially here and here, in some the holes, in this there are the little lumps of plastic, but that's where we're going to set the paper clip. Now in my case, this is a piece of paper clip, however I'm not using that today. I thought, well, it's a little bit flimsy, a little bit flexible, a little bit too easy to break, so I scratched my head a bit and I came up with this. Using the spring out of a peg. Now the reason this is a bit better is springs are generally a little bit tougher than paper clips. The metal is a little bit more harder wearing, and this is, so what you have to do is straighten it out, and once you've straightened it out, you end up with something like this. Now this isn't all of it. This piece that you can see here is a piece I've already made for one side basically, and that's made from the spring. So as you can see, this one's pretty straight, but what you want to do is you want to get it sort of as straight as you can. So anywhere there is any big turns in it, I'll start from this end. All you want to do is straighten it out a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfectly straight, but the straighter it is, the better. I mean, as you can see from this one, it's far from straight, but this one has been bent so it conforms a little bit more to the shape I want here. So as you can see, after a couple of minutes of fiddling, you can get it reasonably straight, and that's all you need really. That should be more than straight enough. I haven't done all of it because I don't need it all. So the first thing you want to do is you want to bend this up, so you have something at this end that looks a bit like this, that can then catch when you put it down the bottom. So if you see, the basic principle is that it goes through the bit of plastic and then hooks onto the metal at the back, so that it won't come out. I mean, that is pretty solid as it is like that, but we are going to epoxy this in place so that it doesn't come out in the future. So here we go. First things first, using a pair of really fine needle nose pliers. Don't know if you can see, but I've barely gone all the way through. So there we go, there's one point, and now we need to do the same thing again. Put back here a bit, and then bend it in the opposite way. Straighten it out a little bit. There we go. So as you can see, this end will now be poked just into this bit. Obviously, to do that, we need to get through this piece of plastic. Now I've already done this side, as you can see, but the way we got through, essentially, let's use a lighter. to heat it up so it is nice and hot, and then poke it. Ooh. Then you just keep doing this essentially until you can get it all the way in. It takes a couple of minutes, but in this case it has gone in pretty easily. So there we go. I'll just give that a minute just to cool down. So now what we want to do is, I want to kind of shape this a little bit. Just bend it over there a bit, then bend this bit back a bit. You want it to run on the outside of this plastic piece, as close as you can, pretty much. And then once you get to the end of it, as you can see with this one here, there's another bend and it turns up, and that is essentially what snapped off, only it was plastic. So they should be a lot stronger. So then once you get to the end, I like to go a mil or two further, just to add for the little bit of plastic that did break off. And then just turn it up at a 90-degree angle. And then using some wire snips, snip the end off. So that is essentially the main part done. Now I have left these a bit long. I will do some final trimming once I'm about to put them into the car, just so we know pretty much how long they need to be. So yeah, I have left them long. Right, so now onto the last step. Never showed you mixing this because, well, basically any idiot should be able to mix up a bit of epoxy. And all I've done to this is put a little bit of tape around it, just to make sure that these don't move too much into the wrong position whilst I'm epoxying it. So all you do is I'll scoop up some epoxy and essentially just glob it all over, all around here. Now you do need to be careful when you're doing this, because if you get too much epoxy on this side over here, then the cup holder won't work properly, because this is like a track basically where it slides down. So you want to not get any down there if you can help it. But I am going to put some just down there. A little bit more over this bit. Now the same thing on the other side. Again, use plenty. So that should pretty much be everything. As you can see, put plenty down there, put plenty down there. Now once this dries, we can then take this off, bend it back into a bit of a better shape, just to make sure that these are in the right place. Trim the ends, slide it in, all done. Now, I should add that the epoxy I'm using is this one. Now it is the same one I used in the high level brake light repair. Now it doesn't set too quick. If you get one that sets too quick, then they can be a bit brittle. So this one sets over the course of an hour or so before it's usable. And then, now I'd say you can use it after 24 hours, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going into work in a minute, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll then be able to test fit it in the car and see how it goes. Right, so here we go guys, all glued up as you can see. Now just going to test fit it, or I'm going to put it in, see how it goes. All you do is you put the metal part on the runner, push it in until it clicks. No, so it's not going in, and I'm pretty sure that's because these are still a little bit too long, so I'll just trim them down a bit, then see how we get on. Right, so what I've done this time is I've just bent them over so it's a little bit more into the middle before I trim them, to see if that has any effect. Oh, there we go, it's gone in straight away. There we go, that's it. That's all I had to do, didn't need to trim them down. As you can see now, that is pretty strong. If you took it a bit, it will come out. I might just bend them up a bit again. So I might just bend these over slightly again, just so it's not quite as upright. So it's a bit more upright, I should say. Oh, there we go. It's clicked in. Interesting. Maybe I had it right first time. So there we go, bent them back. Yeah, there we go, that's it. Pretty sturdy now. And because we've used spring, which is a lot stronger than a paperclip, even a paperclip is a lot stronger than the plastic, you know, you'll be able to put even a big cup in there, not just a can. Because that was the problem, because it was just a piece of plastic, that'd snap if you put anything pretty heavy in there. But as you can see, I'm pushing down quite hard with that, and all that's happened is it's now resting on this piece of fascia here. So yeah, that's it guys, pretty simple fix if you've got a car like this with dodgy cup holders. Still an issue or two there. There we go. But essentially it still works a lot better than it did, because it didn't work at all. So yeah, that's it guys. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. In this playlist there will be a lot more repairs on this car. So I've been Chris Dalton, I'll catch you in my next video. See you later, goodbye.